Welcome back to the By Design podcast. I'm your host, Ronnie Knuckles. This is episode 17. This is our discussion episode. This is a lighthearted episode most of the time. Every now and then we'll get on a serious topic. We did not get on any serious topics in episode 17. We talk about a number of different things like volcanoes. There's an active volcano in the Pacific Ocean right now off the coast of Oregon. We discussed that. We also discussed what job would you have chosen I think in the 1950s or thereabouts. And then we also at the end discuss the coconut people in Moana. So as you can see, there is a number of really interesting topics that I think you're going to be engaged with throughout this episode. It is a fun, lighthearted episode. These are conversations that we have in the office, like while we're waiting to record or pre-recording, and we always thought, we should just start recording these conversations. And so this is the product of that. This is just entertainment for you to laugh at us and as we laugh at each other and ourselves. So we hope you like this episode. Here we go. Man, that was brutal. I do have a... he's got enough pain going on with his back right now. He doesn't need his leg hair pulled out.
He chewed it, though. He didn't even move.
He just wants to annoy me. That felt way better than my back.
Wow. Take the pain from one location and you forget about it in the other.
Nope, back still hurts.
So we'll just pluck a leg hair out every couple seconds until your back stops.
I'm actually going to keep this and make a potion.
You're going to probably plant that on a crime scene.
It'll be the whiniest potion you ever had.
Nice, Harry Potter.
Nice.
I just sit here and I just get destroyed. I get abused and then verbally abused. I whine. I don't even say anything to it. I didn't even whine.
Call HR.
I'm about to.
Hello.
That's me.
I'm your HR representative.
He is legal and HR, if you didn't know.
He does it all.
How can I help you?
He does it all and absolutely nothing at the same time. It's kind of impressive.
It is, yeah. That's a skill, I think.
It is.
All right. There's an active volcano off the coast of California that is 700 miles northwest of San Francisco. Okay, so it's north of California.
San Francisco.
And it is, I don't know.
It's closest to Oregon.
Dude, there are videos. Have you seen the videos of it? Where it's exhausting out of the ocean.
They're expecting it to erupt sometime this year.
An abrupt eruption.
They're saying that it will...
That will suck.
No, it's like 4,500 feet underwater. It won't. The biggest danger that it poses is earthquakes. It's not going to shoot lava.
They think there will be 100 earthquakes around the world because of this volcano.
If a volcano erupted in California and got lava on me in Kentucky, I think we got some bigger problems at hand.
You know, there was
the whole world is dead. At that
what was
point.
the earth or the volcano that erupted and the Earth was like a winter for 2 years?
Mount Everest.
No,
Pompeii.
it happened.
Pompeii.
I think it was Pompeii.
Because it took out that village, which you can actually go and see the
People that are
lavafied bodies of the people there.
stone.
They just like...
They're just like...
It's like turned them into like statues. Almost. You haven't heard of Pompeii?
I've heard of Pompeii, but this is maybe an interesting thing. But like, if I don't know, if lava was coming at you, do you think you could escape it?
Depends on how fast it's coming.
Yeah.
Is it like how it is in movies?
It's relatively slow.
Well, it depends. Like that initial surge, if you're near it, it can be like a rushing river almost. But like once it's actually like spreading out, it's pretty slow.
Like,
you can.
if it touches
cools
you,
off, so it moves slower.
If it touches you, can you get out of it?
Oh yeah, you can get out of it.
Like
you
swallow
probably
you
losing.
up.
You probably
it's not like quicksand. Like if it's deep, you're not getting out of it. But like if you just
You're
step
dead
in it and it's
anyway,
ankle
if it's
deep,
deep.
your foot's messed up probably.
Burned off.
Have you seen that video of those kids that like throw trash into an active volcano? And it's like it's lava, but it's got like the layer of crust on top, and they like throw a can of beans in it or something, and it creates a hole, and the whole thing starts like over. It takes a few minutes and starts to bubble up, and then it just starts to erupt. I mean, not like full blown shooting out of the top,
But it's having a reaction to the beans.
It's reacting.
Where's the
to
closest volcano to Kentucky?
Far.
Yellowstone, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to go to Yellowstone.
Sometimes it's in that bathroom right there.
What I think is most interesting about this, I saw a video of it of like, dude, there's huge smoke plumes coming out of the ocean, and this thing is 4,900 feet.
Are the fish going to be okay?
Nah, dude.
Hold on.
No, they did.
Update. Closest volcano to Kentucky is actually Sugarloaf Mountain in Kentucky.
I've been there.
What?
Yeah, we have a volcano in Kentucky.
Yeah, you didn't know that? I've been there.
It's got to be
cool.
super
Last
inactive.
time it erupted was 1904.
What?
I would like to. I would like to go to Sugarloaf.
Yeah, where's it
Kentucky.
at?
I think
Let's get some cans of beans and head over there, boys.
Rolling County,
Oh,
Kentucky?
yeah.
But what if we wake it
Bushes. Hey,
So-
I'm taking them grilling beans, dude. Yeah,
up?
Bushes grilling beans.
You know, beans.
I like I like the steak
Side
beans,
note,
steakhouse
baked beans.
Yeah.
Very underrated side.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh,
Dude.
especially for the
They're
summer,
my
some baked
favorite
beans
side.
and some
Yeah.
potato salad.
Dude, baked
Oh,
beans.
yeah.
Shout out,
elite.
shout out to Barbara Ferris. I've never had anyone make a baked bean as good as
Got
she
a little
makes a
bacon
baked
in
bean.
it
Thank you,
too.
Barbara.
She
Thank
puts
you,
the bacon
Barbara. We
straight
love
on
you.
the
Brown
top
sugar
so that
and
the
bacon.
bacon flavor seeps through them.
Ooh. You know,
You think she'd
Oh,
make
it's a
a pan of them
genius.
for the podcast?
Oh
for us?
yeah, dude.
My
she
wife
she
was
loves to
telling
make
me
them because everybody's.
There's
gets
two
hyped
things
about
that she
them.
adds to. My wife adds two things to her baked beans that I didn't know, but apparently it's really good. She adds ketchup and mustard
brown sugar.
and brown sugar and
Yeah,
bacon.
I think Barbara might put ketchup.
But
in hers,
when she
don't
told me mustard was in it, I was like, oh, that's random.
Hey, when
didn't
I was a
think about
kid,
that.
I was making baked beans for like the family cookout. I accidentally spilled like a whole cup of Dr. Pepper in them. Worked out.
Nobody noticed.
Worked out. Best baked beans
They
I
were
ever
like,
had.
I would notice. Dr. Pepper is the worst drink on the planet.
What?
Dr. Pepper's
How dare you?
Dr. Pepper is poo poo.
You know,
on the record,
thought you were kind of
Dr.
smart.
Pepper
but now
is
you're
not
just an idiot.
poo-poo.
it is.
You
It's the
take it
worst.
back.
What's the best soda then?
So
Mr.
this
Pibb.
I don't like any soda really, but
Sugarloaf, Kentucky, by the way, is near Grayson, Kentucky, which is like almost to West Virginia.
But it's still in Kentucky,
Right, I'm just saying it's in eastern Kentucky.
so it's far away though.
Olive
Speaking
Hill,
of- Past Richmond?
Morehead, Kentucky. You know where
Okay.
Morehead is?
Yeah.
Off 64,
Yeah.
right off 64.
I got
Is
arrested.
it a big volcano?
I got arrested in Morehead
I
once.
mean, but how? Like, what's the smallest volcano in the world?
The one in probably Sugarloaf. A volcano named Sugarloaf is
Yeah.
probably the weakest.
I don't know. That's kind of cool.
I think that's gonna be a new
Yeah, it's in
pet
Rome
name for my
County.
wife. Actually, I'm
Who
gonna start
gets
calling
the
her
job of
Sugarloaf.
naming
Sugarloaf.
really
cute.
cool things?
Say that again.
Okay, Dolly.
Dolly. I don't know what the dog's deal is.
lay down,
What the dog doing?
Yeah, I think somebody got her riled up earlier.
Who could have that been?
I want the job of where you just get to name cool things.
It's a volcano in Mexico is the smallest one.
Like,
quick
who gets to
make.
name volcanoes? Who gets to name the oceans?
Whoever
Geographers-
discovers them. Go discover something and you can name it.
It's only a 1,300-foot mountain. All right, the 1904 volcanic eruption on Sugarloaf Mountain was reported by the New York Times. It noted smoke, deep rumbling, and the destruction of trees, leading locals to prepare for evacuation. However, the Bee, a local Arlington, Kentucky-based newspaper, later reported that the smoke was a result of illicit moonshining
No way.
and was shut down weeks later.
What about the rumbling?
They was drunk. You know what I mean?
There's all this after like,
Dude, moonshine is brutal. You
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
used
on
to
air.
run moonshine.
I did.
You used to make
I was just
moonshine?
kidding.
I
But,
didn't make it, but someone in my family did.
oh
See,
yeah.
it doesn't seem like it's that
Dude,
illegal,
go
but there
on.
are whole agencies
Yeah, go on.
to target moonshine.
what
So,
were you
still?
going to say?
yeah,
Is moonshine still illegal?
the ABC.
Well, you
It's
can't-
still illegal.
You need like permits and stuff because you can go to Gatlinburg and do like the
Not the
moonshine
same.
tasting
It ain't the same.
and stuff.
It ain't the
I know I've had
Well,
real
the
moonshine
moonshine
before,
that
but
we had back
it's
in the
not for
day,
me.
it was just oil you put in
Yeah,
your car.
yeah. My family did,
You run a
and then I
vehicle
used
off
to.
of it.
I
like
used
real
to,
like corn mash.
Yeah.
and you have to get rid of the first 10%. It can make you go blind because there's so much alcohol content in it. And the test is you always light it on fire, and if it burns a clear or a really faint blue flame, that means it's good.
Yeah, imagine drinking something that you can just light on fire.
You ever seen the
just-
movie?
yeah.
You ever seen the movie Lawless?
Yes.
So they're
With
running
Shia
from
LaBeouf.
You could run an old car on.
That's what I'm saying. You
moonshine.
can run vehicles.
There's so much
off
ethanol in
moonshine,
it.
Yeah.
He's running from the cops.
Yeah.
And he's like, he runs out of gas and he just takes all his moonshine and dumps it in the gas tank and gets away from him.
That's crazy though.
That's
Like back
such a
then though,
great
movie.
thinking
It
about
is,
it back then though, that'd
Yeah,
be
maybe
cool to
we
be like a
shouldn't be
moonshine
drinking that.
runner.
Yeah, I mean, look, I thought it was cool doing it. Not back then.
What job do you think you would have in the 50s and 60s?
Bounty hunter.
I'd have probably died in Vietnam.
Wait, 50s
I
and
can't-
60s?
Korean War.
I
Vietnam.
I was thinking like
say it.
1850s.
I
Yeah.
can't say it on camera.
They didn't have that job back then.
They would have.
If you had the knowledge that you have now and you had to go back to the 1950s, what job would you have?
No, I'd be buying up as much land as
Oh,
I
yeah.
could.
Oh yeah, land.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably. I don't know.
I'd be getting into the
I would
oil
do it.
industry.
I would do an
I think
important
it was
job.
already billions. It was
I
already
would
$1 billion
do
industry
an
in
important
1950.
job that
Was
a
it?
lot of people don't do yet. Like something like
But still,
Create an iPhone.
yeah,
Oh, like I'd have a waxing shop probably.
What?
waxing.
Brazilian waxing.
oh yeah.
Ooh.
They weren't doing that back then.
They
I'd
were.
have a.
It was the
I would
style. It'd be a
start.
huge
I would have
boom.
started a BBL practice.
I don't know what that means, but
Brazilian butt.
You don't know what a BBL is?
But with the technology back then, how would you?
Oh,
I'd probably
speaking
be
of
like an
hey,
accountant or something.
Speaking of which, actually, I did read this somewhere. There's a plastic surgeon guy on Instagram, and people will like send him questions like, "I'm thinking about doing this. Is it safe?" And he was talking about BBLs. There's like a super high death rate associated with those.
Yeah.
Like if you get a BBL, there's like a 40% chance you're going to have a stroke.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
like
in
something
the
about how it leaks
50s,
into your
in
bloodstream.
the 50s, that's about 95%.
Oh yeah.
Well, they weren't doing BBLs in the 50s.
That's true. That's true.
I'd probably be like an accountant or some tax guy or something.
There
I
was
don't know.
already accountants. It's lame.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a safe and needed job.
I like Riot's idea. Buy up land for 2 cents an acre.
In
And,
Texas.
yeah, but the problem is
But just
you're
buy
not.
Texas.
That's an easy cop out answer because obviously you're going to buy land. Like everybody, like that's what you want because
Oh,
you understand
fine.
the monetary value of it. Well,
that's what I'm saying. Knowledge you have today.
How do you get the money to buy the land?
I think I could have
I
been.
mean, that's where I'm at.
I could have
Well,
been a professional athlete.
A couple heists.
Hey,
It was real
dude,
easy to pull off a heist.
we
back then.
could play in the NBA in 1950.
That's true.
No,
That's
I wouldn't have
exactly
done-
what I would do.
I don't know about NBA.
Well, you would.
Yeah, you could. They were like
Plumbers.
6 foot was the tallest guy, and they didn't even have 3-point
Well,
lines.
well, it's still about a
yeah.
foot taller
Okay.
than Tim. So
Still, he could have been a killer PG.
That was really unnecessary.
I'd probably play in the NBA and make like.
Oh, 6'3" in 1950.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
They-
done.
They'd be talking about me like Will.
Yeah. Yeah.
He scored 160 points
But
tonight.
I also have to be like a part-time plumber with that
No-
too.
Yeah,
Nobody-
they,
Yeah, I
they
think
didn't
they
get
were
paid
paying
There's
anything.
nobody that
You
played
might have
like
just
him.
you might have actually just had to play for free.
Yeah. Baseball was the game back then to me.
I'd have played
Yeah.
football, dude. And
Wearing just a leather helmet,
oh yeah,
you would get crushed.
nah, cuz
You'd have some crazy
Some big
CTE.
corn-fed kid from Nebraska would break your neck in 1950.
nah, dude. I would take them ankles.
Pancake Tim.
I'd be taking them ankles,
He'd be
though.
like, he'd just be flat on
Tim
your
is
back.
the
just like,
Jerome. Tim would have been the Jerome Bettis of 1950.
I would have, dude, for real.
1950 was bad for football because that's when Kentucky won a championship. You know what I
Did
mean?
they really?
Yeah, like 1951, they beat Oklahoma in the championship. But I think they got on probation the next year, so they like wiped it. Kind of like Louisville in
Yeah.
2013. They won it, but
Yeah.
in the record books, they didn't
I
win
didn't know
it.
that.
Kind of thing.
There's probably only like
no,
10 teams
1950.
playing.
It was like
with the knowledge I have
1952
now,
maybe.
I would go to like some sort of like weapons manufacturer and teach them how to make like ARs and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because the war in Korea was going on. Imagine if they'd have had ARs.
Oh yeah,
They'd have killed them.
Would have saved the world.
Yep. I think
Or
technically
ended
the
it.
world was fine anyway.
Yeah, but there'd be a lot of money if I
probably
dropped,
would've just
Hey
worked
boys,
on
this is an
Oppenheimer."
M16. Check out what this can do.
Oppenheimer was
Yeah.
over.
When was that? 40s?
That was in the 40s. 30s and 40s.
Well, so you're in that
yeah,
timeline.
yeah.
So
You could build the next
I
cool
would have
nuclear
created
bomb.
Bitcoin.
They don't even know what a computer
I mean, okay,
is.
so
So
if
if
you
you pitch Bitcoin to somebody who doesn't understand it at all,
if you could,
Check it out, dude. It's digital currency.
I'm
what's
thinking
digital?
when I asked the question, I was thinking like you don't have the knowledge from today, so that's like you don't.
Oh, yeah,
you
no,
can't see in
no.
the future, so you don't know
No,
what's
that's
what
lame.
yet.
I'd have been a hobo.
But if I
Yeah,
know what,
I'd be in sales at a department
Yeah.
store or
Yeah.
something.
Selling
Probably.
yeah, I'd be
shoes and
selling
belts.
vacuum cleaners door to door or
Yeah.
something.
if I have the knowledge I have now, I probably would try to build computers.
I'd have
Start
a wife that I
computers.
was allowed to yell at.
Yeah.
You'd have
Yeah.
what?
A wife that I was allowed to yell at.
Yeah, true.
As long as she isn't a pastor.
I'd be a I'd be a hitchhiking hobo.
yeah. You already kind of
So
are.
the same thing you are now. Same career, huh?
No, man, I have a home.
And a job.
I'm not a hobo. Yeah, well. You give hobo vibes, though.
Why? For
What
real?
did I
It's the Honduran baseball jersey. It's,
bought that at an airport.
mixed with the yellow and black Leon Bridges hat.
And then the sunglasses
Yeah.
inside when there's no sun.
The polarized, not just sunglasses, polarized sunglasses.
Polarized is awesome though because it makes all the colors look better.
Hey, don't hate on me because I'm beautiful.
We're not saying you're not beautiful,
what your
Tim. We're
mommy
just saying
tells you?
you're a hobo at heart.
There's beautiful hobos.
I am at heart. At heart, I am a hobo. I'm a hippie, hitchhiking hobo.
Hobo for
from
Jesus.
Hoboken.
Is that a place?
Yeah,
I feel like
It's in New
I feel like
Jersey.
it's an Oklahoma town.
So
New Jersey.
Okay.
what I heard was we're gonna start our YouTube. Well, we have the YouTube channel, but we're gonna take a trip to Sugarloaf.
Yeah, dude. We should go to
yeah.
Sugarloaf. Probably only going to find moonshiners, though.
That's fine.
Then we'll
Okay,
make,
so do we join the Shiners or do we break up the still?
no, we join.
No, we're not the feds, bro.
Depends,
We join.
depends on how many they have.
Yeah.
We got to play the numbers game.
Yeah.
Can we take them?
And then which one of us is most likely to go blind?
Oh, no.
I'm pretty close already, so probably me.
I know this game.
I don't know if I could actually take a shot of moonshine anymore.
I remember when my dad had a farm in Litchfield, some guy had gotten a bunch of moonshine from a local brewer, I guess you could say. And that was the first time I'd ever tasted moonshine. And I was young, 14, 15 maybe. And I took just a little sip, and it was like dude, like drinking rubbing alcohol. Mm-hmm. And this guy, one of the farmers, he said, "Let me have that, boy." And he took a big drink, and he goes, "Make you feel like a worm in a little hole." And I don't know why. I thought that was hilarious. Were you there when that happened?
That.
Lawrence was his name.
That's another career that we didn't even talk about. We'd probably be farmers. We'd be on a farm, growing tobacco.
I mean, I cut tobacco growing up, you know?
Yeah,
I would have certainly just left the farm and started hitchhiking, for sure.
Yeah.
One day you'd be like, I'm sick of this.
You know what you would probably
I'm done
like
with
is
this,
hopping
Daddy.
on trains.
I'm done with your
doing the
life,
train
Daddy.
I'd
thing.
love to hop trains.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly,
I still
dude,
think about doing
that would be cool.
That would
I
be
think
cool
about
until
doing that
you,
today.
you know.
You can't do it today, though. They keep the doors closed.
So you
No,
miss the train.
there's like a whole community of people that still do it. We should hop a train to Sugarloaf Mountain.
There's an app for it.
That'd be kind of cool.
They probably do have an app for it.
Train hoppers.
probably do have an
Trainhoppers.io.
It's not Uber. It's called Tutor or Tutor.
Yeah.
that sounds like a bad word.
Tutor.
Ooh, don't say that.
Yeah, we are getting close.
I didn't like that.
That's a nasty word.
Yeah.
They say nasty word.
You talking Honduran now that you got the shirt on?
No.
All right, you had some points. What are your
Oh,
points, Tim?
well, the volcano thing, man.
Yeah, crazy.
The volcano thing, man.
Yeah, you sounded.
1980. Listen, May 18th, 1980.
Day after Owen's birthday. Okay.
May 18th, 1980. Dave Crockett
Davy Crockett.
arrives at Mount St. Helen.
Is it?
You
Hold
say
on, stop.
1980?
Stop.
Davy
Just
Davy
as the
Crockett was
eruption.
dead in 1980.
It's a different guy.
He just has the same name.
It's unfortunate.
People can have the same name. There's another.
That's
there's
just
another guy.
They named him that on
I don't know
purpose.
if
Like
you
a
know
guy
this.
walks in here, oh, hey, Abraham Lincoln. You're like, what?
I mean, it's Dave Crockett. Okay.
Dave. He
All right.
sounds way lamer.
Yeah, he does.
Not as
Davy
cool.
Crockett, goat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I'm
this
just telling-
Dave
I'm going to be
guy-
honest.
Tell
I
a
don't know if this is
story,
my age
man.
showing. I know the name. I don't know what he did.
Davy
Who
Crockett.
he
He's
Davy
the guy
Crockett
that
was
discovered raccoons.
Okay, so he's kind of like a Steve Irwin. Is he my Steve Irwin?
He was known for wearing a Wilderness Trail.
So he's like my Steve Irwin.
Or was that Daniel Boone?
No, he
was Davy Crockett.
He was a.
Yes.
What?
No, he wasn't a
It's my
Steve
Steve
Irwin.
Irwin.
No, because Davy Crockett was like a bad dude.
Yeah.
Steve Irwin was the
He
goat.
died,
So
he died at the
blazed-
Alamo, right?
He defended the Alamo.
That'd be cool.
Well, he was from Tennessee. Daniel Boone was from Kentucky. And anyway,
right.
Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone, buddies.
Who was the guy that had the
Besties.
big blue bull?
Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan's lame.
He
Well, why
had
is
he
he
had like
lame?
a 12-foot tall blue bull.
Yeah.
Why is he
totally.
Actually, I don't know if he's lame. He might
He
have been
just
cool.
be making he just loser. Paul Bunyan, loser.
Paul Bunyan was like the original lumberjack.
Yeah. That's what
That
it
is
was.
true. Wasn't Daniel Boone a lumberjack? Too?
Daniel Boone
Daniel Boone
is
was
the
a
one.
trailblazer.
I remember
Yeah.
taking a field trip and seeing like the cabin he lived in. or
Yeah,
something
it was
like
in.
that.
That's
It was
in
like a-
Red River Gorge.
like a 8x8.
Yeah, we went down there and
And
went.
just-
We went
yeah.
on that hike
Yeah.
right around his cabin.
Yeah, and just imagine that's where he lives, and he's like killing deer and bear and dragging them through.
And those are some
mountains.
hills,
Yeah,
boy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Just walking around with a backpack on out
You
there.
think you
is
could do
tough.
that?
Yeah,
Kill a bear?
I would
Yeah.
adapt and overcome.
How many Tims?
Yeah, I mean, if you have
With his hands?
if you
Weapons or no?
have a gun, you have 3 bullets.
Bro,
could
you got
kill
less
a
of
bear?
a chance to kill a bear than a gorilla.
What kind of gun?
Well, a bear, the more wounded
1911.
it is, the
Hang
more
on.
it's coming after you.
Oh yeah, dude.
Are we having two different conversations?
Yes.
We are.
Sorry.
All right. Which one?
Anyway, would Tim survive in Daniel Boone National Forest?
Yes, I've done it.
I mean, you might survive 12 hours.
Yeah, you did it with a Walmart bought quick meal.
That's not.
Look, dude, we
Now
were
we're
sitting.
getting
We
into
were
specifics.
sitting in the tent watching UK basketball.
See, I'm more of like what they call it, like the glamping. What is it called?
Hey,
Or-
I like to
No,
camp.
that
ruggedly.
wasn't glamping, but it
No.
was nice.
But
It
if
was
you
a nice
get if
time.
you get dropped in, so have y'all read
Oh,
the
I'm
book?
good.
Have y'all read the book Hatchet? Did you read that growing
heard
up
of
in
it.
school? Excellent book. But it's a kid that is, and I may be crossing it with My Side of the Mountain, but I'm pretty sure
Far
there's like
From Home?
a plane accident or something. But
Yeah.
all he has is a hatchet in the
Oh,
woods,
yeah.
and he has to basically like eke out a life for himself, starting with just a hatchet. And I feel like I
man.
could do that just
I'm
from reading
good.
that book.
Yeah.
Like knowing if I have something like that,
The only book I,
I can
remember
build
is
shelter.
Beowulf from school.
Hey,
Beowulf.
That's what we read. I remember it.
anybody remember the movie
That's a
Far
great
From
book.
Home, where
Mm-hmm.
that kid they're in a shipwreck and it's just him and his golden retriever,
Yes,
and they live in the wilderness in like Washington State.
having a
for
dog
months?
would help significantly.
Oh yeah, because then you could also eat it if you really needed to.
Okay.
But
Your
anyway.
dog?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're about to die.
I wouldn't eat my dog.
He didn't. It was a great movie. Really heartfelt. Dog comes back at the end.
Okay, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
You're never going to watch it.
You
From
think?
like
You
1994.
think if you had to, you'd eat Dolly?
If I had to? Oh,
I don't
I'd
think
fry her up, buddy.
Dolly's not got much meat.
No.
Sumo
no.
would be an appetizer.
I would
Sumo has no meat.
skin her and make a hat out of her if I had to.
I don't think I could.
When it comes down to survival, buddy, we'll do anything.
So,
I mean,
Sounds like Ronnie would eat us.
what is the?
swear.
Hey, what's the?
Watch
There's a
my
story
back.
about people. It was a family. I think they were maybe Mormons. They were crossing the Rockies and they got trapped in the wintertime up in this pass. They couldn't get through. They got trapped there for like 8 months in a bad blizzard. They were starving so bad at the end that they ate like 6 of their own kids.
Nope.
Yeah, and the only I think the only one that survived was the dad.
Yep.
He'd end up eating his wife and all of them. Can you imagine that?
Like
dude?
the fattest
No.
kid of the bunch is just like,
Yeah, you're done, buddy.
Yeah.
That's what you get for sneaking them biscuits.
See, I just don't think. Yeah, there's no way I would do that.
No, I would just die. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, people are crazy.
and you don't have to start off with killing them either. Like what you would do is you would like take the
Yeah.
bottom leg
Yeah.
first, like the bottom part of the leg,
I'm
like
not-
rope it off so they can still like survive
This is-
potentially.
this is
just
gruesome.
get you a little cat.
I would
meat.
just go out and try to find something before.
I would just jump off a cliff or something. So
I mean,
don't
I
have
would
to do
just
that.
go out and
Oh,
die
Blizzard,
trying
you're
to
not
find
finding
something before I do that.
Yeah, I think they tried.
Yeah, in Blizzard, you're not.
You didn't
finding
try
much.
hard enough.
In the top of the Rocky Mountains. Good luck.
No shot.
No.
Here we've got a bunch of chickens
Yeah.
that we could.
Oh, dude, if
pull from.
if it came down to it today, I'm coming here. I got water, chickens. Yeah, I'm coming here.
Chicken and water.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So-
how did we start talking about cannibalism?
Daniel Boone.
Daniel Boone.
May
Davy
18th,
Crockett. Oh, Dave Crockett.
1980.
This is how dumb we are.
This is David Crockett, not
Dave. This is Dave.
David L. Crockett.
Not Davey. All right, go ahead, Tim. Just get on with the story.
Hurry up.
Well, then stop talking.
Slowest
Every
storyteller
time I say
ever.
a word.
You're doing the dramatic pauses.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
we
you're
can't
like
help but
dragging
point
I'm trying
words
to
out.
tell a story.
You're like Davy Crockett.
You're not Dan Carlin, brother. Just get on with it.
May 18th.
This story's gonna suck.
All right.
It better be worth it.
Just
Wait.
forget it. What else?
He clicked the camera over to us.
Yeah, he did. Tim, May 18th, Davy
I'm
Crockett,
good.
1980.
No.
He goes and finds a mountain that's got a volcano on
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
If you don't tell the story, I'm going
I
to tell the
swear
story.
I'm looking the
Tell it.
story up.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just going to tell a very incorrect version of the story so Tim doesn't
tell
have a
the
choice but to
story.
jump in.
I've tried to tell the story 4 times.
So 1980, it was
Taking
a,
you
it was,
an hour. He's losing it. He's losing
He's
it.
crashing out.
Oh, here's the story right here.
It's not funny.
Here's the story.
Stop.
Started 1980 and May 18th and we'll listen.
Just tell it yourself,
No,
brother.
no, go ahead.
Okay. Here we go. May 18th, 1980. Dave Crockett arrives at Mount St. Helens. Just as the eruption begins, he races down the South Fork, but is quickly trapped by a mud flow.
Ooh.
Ash blots out the sky. He leaves his car, turns on his camera, and starts walking, convinced he won't survive. But he will.
Is that the clip where like the side of the mountains sliding
that the
off
story?
and he got it on camera?
That was the whole story, and I needed 5 seconds, and you wouldn't shut up for it.
I just feel like you really built it up more than
That was the
was
worst.
delivered.
The build-up is because I kept trying to start, and you kept saying
He got out of
stuff.
his car and started recording.
Hey, but here you did miss this language. This is from the Como News. A chunk of our world was uncorked
Nice. I
and
like
blown off the face of the earth in a billowing colossal blast of inconceivable destruction.
Sounds like just describing a
This is
fat dump.
This is the Como News story from 1980.
I'm going to say that next time I'm in the bathroom.
Hey,
a chunk
great
of my
word
world was
choice.
uncorked.
Yeah, like how many big words? The world wasn't ending, but for a time, it felt that way.
Turned out it was moonshiners.
Yeah, just a bunch of hillbillies.
So,
up there.
anyways, this all stemmed from the volcano in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
the-
gonna
so
that's
the-
gonna go
Well,
off the
it's
coast.
off the coast of Oregon.
Oh, okay,
But
same
north
thing.
of San Francisco.
Same
Hey,
thing.
no, so this you should watch that. The thing I saw on TikTok was real creepy because
Yeah.
this guy he's filming. There's barely any light up ahead in his camera. There's just like a soft white light ahead in the distance, and it's slowly getting smaller and smaller because the ash cloud.
He's on a boat, right? Is he out like on the water?
No, he's walking down the mountain, brother.
Oh.
He's on the mountain.
Oh, you're talking about Dave. You're talking about Dave.
Dave Crockett. Yeah.
David
I've seen that one.
Crockett.
Yeah. And he's like talking about how it's getting harder to breathe and see and what happened and how much ash there
That's
is, and
Dave
he can't breathe very well.
So he's
And the whole
essentially
time
going
he's
through a
talking-
volcano eruption, right?
Yeah, he's
on the
talking
mountain
about
he's on.
how he's like, I'm pretty sure I'm dead now, and he's just watching the light get smaller and smaller. Apparently, somehow he survives it.
How long did he live after that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know Dave Crockett.
How do they monitor volcano activity if they're 40,000 million feet below sea level?
Well,
Not
no,
all
it's
of them. Not all of them are.
It's shooting out of the water. That's what I'm saying. That's what's crazy. So all of this smoke and ash is coming up 4,900 feet from under the ocean and coming out.
Yeah, I guess
it's exhausting.
I'm curious on how they can.
Seismic activity, probably.
Yeah, just the way it's rumbling and.
Yeah.
Did you know that
tumbling.
there are volcanoes on other planets?
Yeah, I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
There's an active one on Mars and one on Io, one of Jupiter's moons.
Would you go to Mars if you could?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Martian's one of my favorite books.
Take me to space. Oh, that's Take Me to Church.
Is it based off the movie?
remix?
Is the book based off the movie? Dakota?
Same thing.
What?
There's
You guys got to start reading.
There's a million Martians and there's
Not
a million type of.
I don't like to read about space too much.
I'm just asking if the book you read is based off the book. I mean, if the movie's based off the book.
The movie's based off
What
the
movie?
book.
What movie?
Yeah, that's
The
what I was
Martian.
asking.
Oh, The Martian's a great movie.
Like the one with Matt Damon.
Yeah,
That's what I was asking.
But you said, is the book based on the movie?
Oh, you know what I meant.
Have you seen the
book always comes first.
You seen that picture home where the telescope is like way out in space? It's been in space since like the 60s, and they prompted it turn around and take a picture of home, and it turns around and takes a picture of Earth, and Earth is this little tiny speck in the picture, like light like a light year away. It's ridiculously far away, and it was just the quote underneath it is, I'll show you the picture. I think it's like anyway, but it's like everything we've ever known is on that tiny little speck in this picture. And that's crazy to think about the vastness of space. And that picture kind of puts it into perspective. Like every story every war that's ever been fought, every hardship, everything is just this on this little tiny rock.
Just like that
suspended in
grain of
space.
sand on a beach type metaphor, where it's just like really everything's really minuscule
Yeah.
compared to
The vastness of of everything.
That's
around
kind of
us.
terrifying to think about. Like space is terrifying to think about that.
Yeah, I love space.
Then that
books.
opens the door for aliens.
Yeah. So if you like The Martian, Andy Weir, the author of The Martian, wrote another book that I like even better called Project Hail Mary, and that movie is being made right now, starring
Matt Damon.
the illustrious Ryan Gosling.
Ooh, great actor.
Beautiful man. What?
I agree.
Pause.
I agree.
We heard you.
He's a good actor, though.
Yeah, I'm trying
Haven't
to-
seen. What was the last thing he was in? The Gray Man.
No,
that's
probably
good.
the Fall Guy. Was his
Fall
last
Guy.
one.
Yeah, that.
Great movie
Haven't
too.
seen
Wait,
Fall Guy.
Bro, what is
Fall
this?
Guys-
What is the name
Fall
of this
Guy
picture?
feels like an old school
That's
summer
Ryan
blockbuster
Reynolds.
movie. It's good.
That's Ryan Reynolds. Oh no.
Ryan
That's
Gosling. It's Ryan Gosling.
I know. I saw that in the movie theaters. But what's the one with Ryan Reynolds? It's like Fall something.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up now. 'Cause it's gonna bother me.
Here it is. Pale blue dot. That's the name of the image. So if anyone is interested in seeing this, go Google pale blue dot. And
And that's for the picture of Earth from the telescope that's out
from the
there.
Voyager
Free
1,
guy.
from the Voyager 1
1.
telescope.
Free guy.
I'll
That
read
one.
it.
Oh yeah.
Hey, look. So it says, turn around and take a picture of home. And that's home.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Show the camera.
Yeah, let me do that.
I could barely see it from here.
It is tiny. This iconic image of Earth, dubbed the pale blue dot, is part of the first ever portrait of a solar system taken by the Voyager 1. The pale blue dot is a photograph of Earth taken on February 14th, 1990 by NASA's Voyager 1 at a distance of 3.7 billion miles from the sun. The image inspired the title of the science. There's a book about it. And he wrote, look again at that, the guy, let's see here, Carl Sagan wrote, look again at that dot, that's here, that's home, that's us. That's what it's like. famous for. 3.7 billion miles away
Yeah, it's
from the sun, but still.
quite far.
Yeah.
If you
Sorry.
Go ahead.
This is from NASA's website, by the way. When mission managers commanded it to look back toward home for a final time, it snapped a series of 60 images that were used to create the first family portrait of our solar system.
That's where you see in all the
Super
schools.
interesting. Well, they were able to see Neptune, Uranus, Saturn,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
See my anus?
But
You're going to have to edit that out.
It's Uranus.
if you could fix one thing in the world, what would it be?
A lot of funny things just came to my mind that I'm going to refrain from saying.
World hunger, homelessness.
I don't know.
No speed limits.
It's a good one.
All right. That's a better question. What's one thing you think that would benefit the world better if they changed it?
I mean, for real, or are we joking around?
No, for real. Like, what's
No, for real.
what's something you think that would benefit the world? Or you can even go.
If everyone found Christ.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's not like that's not.
That's
like,
not good enough, Tim. But
not
that's
good
what
enough
I
for you?
agree. I agree.
I mean, obviously that's the
obvious
Christian-
answer.
Yeah, but like, what's one thing that you think would benefit
I'm
the
with
world?
you.
But that would benefit the world because if everybody
Yes,
was a Christ follower,
okay,
then there'd
okay,
be a
that's
lot
your
less.
You
answer
open the door.
That's
You
your-
open the
that's your
door.
answer.
This
That's
is
your
our
answer.
answers.
That's your answer. But I just
I agree. All right, let's assume that everybody knows the gospel.
like what's one
Everybody's
thing that you could
saved
get,
Christians now
Like
in the
maybe it's a
world.
law, maybe it's a
Which is
culture
heaven.
thing. What's one thing you think that could help the world? Some people will say capitalism. Some people will say, how do we solve
No, we need capitalism.
world hunger?
Food and shelter for all. Because when you remove the desperation from people for trying to find food and shelter for
basic
themselves
needs.
and their
But human
kids.
nature is always going to be that's never enough.
Well, there'll be
You're still-
war
you're
and
still
somebody will
gonna have
take it
people
from
that-
it.
But look, if we're
want more
going
than what
if
they
we're
have.
going baseline, everybody has food and shelter, then it'll free up people to be able to do something else and get more.
I got one.
But if you're so stuck in like I'm thinking of foreign countries. 'Cause
Honduras.
I do
I
all
got
the time,
one
but
that I know Ronnie's not
if
gonna like.
okay, you can go after me.
Oh, well, you just drag this on forever and ever.
What's yours?
No, go ahead. You said
I think
Tim is so frustrated
if
today.
every country was America,
Yeah.
what about free healthcare throughout the world?
I mean, sure. I don't think that really changes much, but
You don't think that would help people?
I mean, yeah, maybe.
okay, how about no disease?
But also it
Think
hurts
that's like
people.
a hypothetical.
Free
That's
healthcare
like-
hurts people too, though. Hurts governments and it hurts hospitals and everybody that's
Do you
associated
care about
with
the
them.
government? No.
I don't really care about them, but also countries need governments too.
All right, no taxes.
That I can get behind. Privatize everything.
Subscription.
You want to
base,
build a new
everything.
highway? Put a Verizon sticker on the guardrails. Sponsored by Verizon.
Interesting.
Overpasses?
I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were done.
Look, don't apologize. He's
That's
fine.
fine.
Well, he's all angry over there,
He's
steaming
just-
out of his
he's-
ears.
you can't tell. You can't
He's
see his
having a
eyes.
rough morning.
You can't see his ears.
So
either.
you would fix homelessness and world hunger. You think that would fix the world? But if you had to pick one of those two, which one would you pick?
Yeah, you only get to pick one. That's two.
Are we doing this for real?
Yes, I'm asking you a question.
Hunger or shelter?
Hunger.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I think shelter's a way more expensive thing. I'm just saying, like, if someone had a place to call
food?
home,
Food's a big problem.
but you, I mean,
yeah,
but
because
could
you
also
can
go-
die of starvation
it
from
might-
anywhere.
it
You won't
might
die
be-
of no shelter
Yeah,
everywhere.
you can find a box.
I mean, to be honest
Well,
with
so
you,
you can
I'd much
live in
rather
an
go-
environment that you can just
You could
survive
go
in.
get a meal off for $6, $7.
But who's got these people ain't got $6?
Well, they definitely have $1,500 to pay the rent.
Well,
Well, they're not only eating one
It's
meal.
What are
easier,
you
to
gonna
beg, it's easier to beg for food than it is to beg for shelter.
That's what I'm saying.
are you
think,
going to have
like,
a cool apartment to die in? Like,
I mean, if you have heat and air during the winter and summer, I think you could figure out.
Yeah, but you can-
scrounging $10 to get a meal.
but you can survive without heating and air conditioning.
Okay, so this
I
winter,
can survive with just a hatchet.
this
But
winter, I
people did
want you
that-
to
people did
stay
that for
outside for
months.
48 hours.
Brother, heating and air conditioning wasn't invented until like 1940.
Okay, so that's irrelevant.
It is relevant to the
no,
argument.
we
And
have
there's
it right
places
now.
that don't have it at all.
We have it right now. I'm saying if you give people a home that's a stable home, I mean, it doesn't have to be 30,000 square feet, but it has heating and air.
Right.
That's better than I think giving someone a meal.
Well, maybe one meal, sure. But if
I mean,
if we're giving them unlimited food,
If you gave me a free house or free food for a year, I'll take the free house.
yeah, see you in heaven when I get there, bud, because I'm going to outlive you. taking the food.
rather
Maybe,
just- rather
but
just
but what
shelter.
environment are we in? Are we in the jungle where there's
Also,
Well,
what kind
all
of food
kinds
is
of
it? Is
wild
it Whole
animals
Foods
that'll-
or is it just a bunch
Yeah,
of
it's
Red
got to be.
40?
We're talking
Like,
about
what is it?
maybe. Are we talking 1 meal a day or like 3 square meals a day?
exactly enough calories to stay alive?
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now, I'll do what I
Okay.
need to do to find food. I'll take the free
That's
house,
what I'm
free
saying.
shelter.
That's what I think. I think if you're
See, I'll find
if
a way
you
to
have
get a
if you
house.
have a place of shelter where you can go and have privacy and peace, that's a game changer.
I just think that would.
Yeah,
And
but
then
if,
you can-
but
you
if I'm
can
but if I'm
find
not
food.
but if we're talking about someone who doesn't have access to food versus doesn't have access to shelter, that
Yeah.
person's taking food.
Yeah, they're going to pick food every
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
you ain't wrong.
Right.
Now, if
But
we're
food is just such a
because
cheaper
that-
expense
The
Yeah,
desperation
to figure out.
maybe
the desperate feeling of hunger is much stronger than the desperate
Yeah.
feeling of
Shelter.
homelessness.
Unless it's 5 degrees outside.
Well, you move somewhere that it doesn't get 5
start a
degrees.
fire, be fine.
That's what I would do. I would just go to a climate.
So you
I have-
don't have a vehicle, you don't have food, and you don't have shelter.
How do you think people got around back before
That's
You're
what I'm
going to
saying.
walk to somewhere where it's warm
Yes.
in the dead winter?
Listen, man.
Not in the dead winter.
You
I
just-
would hole
you
up.
just survive through
If
the
it-
winter
If
and
it
then get
starts
out
in
of
the
Dodge.
winter, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
This is how people did it back in the day.
Because when you have your apartment in the wintry place, then you're stuck there, and then food. What are you going to do when the gardens are all frozen and there's nothing to eat in the winter?
Oh,
I'm
is
talking about
is
randomness.
this the 1800s now? This is not. I mean, this is. I'm talking like 2025. Like there's McDonald's on every block.
Okay, well, if it's 2025, then I guess
I wasn't talking in the 80s. I'm talking right now.
I'm
when we
saying
saw-
I'm
Ain't no
saying
McDonald's in the
overall,
Sahara.
but I'm also thinking worldwide, right? Because the McDonald's is it's America.
Yeah, the
It's
scenario
Tokyo,
was that
it's-
this changes for the world.
Yeah,
right
Wasn't
in
changes for
2025,
Fern
not
Creek.
1990,
brother. The majority of the world does not have access to fast food,
or shelter.
like 80%.
Yep, or shelter.
And they're taking food every time.
But they also they grow all their stuff.
They can't year
dude.
round.
There's a lot of food shortages around the world.
Okay. I think I'm missing the point here. But anyways. So where do people eat? If they don't have fast food, they don't have groceries, they don't have markets, they don't grow their own food.
Literally starving to death.
Some people are freezing to death.
way less
way
than people
less.
are starving.
Yeah.
That's not the point. I'm saying
Who?
there's
But
a
we're talking about what's better overall for the world.
I'd say food. I think food is already a problem, right? Isn't there like a food crisis going on right now?
Famine.
We're just fat Americans,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I think I think what we're getting to is it depends on where you're at.
It's true.
Depending
Yeah,
on
yeah.
which one you
If
would
I'm
take.
in Siberia,
geographically.
Siberia, my thoughts are going to be a little bit different. Might take the shelter.
But I'd be
There's-
leaving.
I don't think
Siberia.
there's food or shelter in Siberia.
Yeah, you're going to have to eat tigers.
just the gulag.
Hey, there is a
many
series
men to kill
about
a
people
tiger?
that live in Siberia and they like can fat to help them get through the winter.
Happiest people on earth.
I don't know, brother. It looks pretty miserable.
There's also a documentary.
How much
about
do you
it.
think, this is just from Google, how
Yeah.
much do you think it would cost to solve world hunger? It's a per year basis.
Per year, there's 8 billion. How many people are on the planet?
I bet it's less than we think.
No, we don't need.
What's 5 times 8?
If we're talking about like exactly enough calories,
I'm going to
be
say
alive,
$500 billion. Half a trill.
1 trill.
You say 1 trillion?
Yeah.
10 bill.
40 billion a year.
Wow. Way less than we thought.
I was closest.
A lot
Half
of
a
food out
trill.
there. What about to end homelessness?
1 trillion.
Well, it's way more expensive to build structures for people.
Yeah, and depending on the areas
Well,
too.
this is well, hold on. That was world hunger. Let me do this.
But is it
This was-
homelessness? Are they counting homeless people in Africa and like these
Well,
countries?
this one was
it's
just the US,
common.
so I'm doing the world now.
worldwide homelessness.
So, yeah.
probably, I don't know, half a trill.
I don't even have a guess.
30 billion.
So the same, almost.
Well, it says 11 billion to 30 billion, just depending
Probably
on...
most of the people that are homeless, like world homeless and world hungry, are probably like the same amount.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's-
Like it's probably like very similar.
Well, if you don't have a
lot of the same
place to
people.
live, you probably don't have
And
a
if-
meal
yeah,
to
and
eat.
if
But
you
that
ain't- and if you ain't
stat
got any
shows
food
that
to
food
eat-
is more valuable because it would cost more.
Well, it's just you consume it more.
Yeah.
yeah, because you got to eat more.
Yeah.
Every day.
You build a house one time, you're done.
Yeah, but you need.
But I
food to
think the
live.
argument is good. I think either argument is good. Like Tim said, it just depends on the location. You know what I mean? So like a guy in Alabama isn't going to care as much about shelter as a guy in Siberia,
Right.
Or a guy in Norway or where it's cold, or in Brazil where the jungle will literally eat you alive. Like shelter's super important. So I think it just depends. You're kind of in middle ground where the climate's relatively stable. Or, it might not get super freezing very often. You're going for the food.
Locally here, it would be the shelter would be better.
I don't know.
States.
Because food banks and
in the States, you
can stand on the
now the
corner
world,
and ask
the
for
world,
hot dogs.
the hunger
in 2020 in 2025. Yeah, in America,
Shelter.
I think shelter. But I'm thinking from a world perspective,
Probably
maybe food. Because
food and water,
especially
water is
water's even a bigger problem.
Yeah,
I mean, Tim was telling us in Uganda they were talking about baptizing, and I saw a video of it too. Yeah. But they don't have water. Like they have to walk 5 miles to get water.
And the water that they're walking to get, they ain't just gonna baptize a bunch of people in it. That's for survival.
They have to drink it. Yeah. And anyway, I saw these missionaries, and they wanted to baptize this tribe that had recently gotten saved, and they had to figure out how to get a tractor, and then they had to dig 10 feet in the ground to get the water to come up from the ground, and then ended up doing a baptism service. But it took them 2 weeks just to get enough water to do a baptism.
Part of the team that went to Uganda with us back in January, so we split up, and they went to an orphanage for most of the time, and then they took a few days and drove to a pygmy tribe, which I don't know much about pygmies.
I think it's natives. It's like native.
They are smaller, yeah.
Never heard of them.
But
pygmy people, they're like little people.
No, never heard of them.
So they go to this pygmy tribe and end up baptizing 100 people there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's really cool. Yeah. So they had water there, or
there's a creek and stuff.
Oh, cool.
But they didn't. I don't know. They wanted Ed, the guy, one of the leaders of the trip. They wanted Ed to baptize them because he had met them before.
Oh, that's cool.
And kind of let
access to clean water might be the one that I would pick. Everybody has access to
water.
Clean water
is more important than food too, which we know. Yeah, you'll die in a 5 days. Have you all seen Moana?
Yes.
Moana. Anyway,
that's the cow spinoff.
The little coconuts. What are they called? Ukanawu or
little coconut dudes.
Yeah,
they're called little coconut dudes.
I don't know what
they're called. I think they're called
I've actually never seen it.
You've never seen Moana? You gotta watch it.
I'm waiting on Sage.
Kokomar. I don't know.
I'm looking it up.
Waiting on Sage.
Yeah, so we're gonna wrap this after we figure out what the coconut guys on Moana are
hungry.
The Kakamora.
Kakamora, yeah. See the Kakamora. They make it sound really
little
scary.
coconut dudes.
They're little coconuts with blow darts.
Yeah.
You gotta watch.
They're hardcore.
They
too.
are, dude. They're pretty cool,
guys.
Yeah.
They'll get after you too.
And the only way you can get cured of their venom is the big blob of.
Are they bad guys?
That goes over top of you.
Yeah,
but they beat their little coconut bodies and stuff like that.
I'll show you. I'll show you a clip. If you
How many of those would it take to defeat Tim?
2.
No, not many. Yeah. All they need is the blow dart.
Yeah. Maybe even 1.
He's the king of them. Though.
And in Moana 2, there's one little guy that's like their
best
warrior.
Now you guys are just screwing with me today.
Maybe even 1 is great.
I don't like it. I don't like this.
No, and not with a blow dart either. Like just
hands.
Just a coconut with arms.
Yeah, they're fat. Hey, people die from non-alive coconuts that just fall from.
That's true.
Trees.
Hey, bro, real coconuts with the hard shells on them, those are dangerous.
All right, Dolly, you're about to mess my whole
I'm telling you, bro, they're hard as rocks.
Dolly, go
they're
back,
like
dude.
heavy as a boulder.
No, she's over my mic.
Wild gangs of coconuts are roaming the streets.
So this was we were not on topics. We were just kind of rambling here.
And you guys were jerks.
And Tim was highly offended today, and
but I whine.
I think it's kind of funny. So
That's crazy.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you got some entertainment out of it. We appreciate you watching. Please share the show. Give us a rating. Leave a comment about how Riot was wrong. We would greatly appreciate that. And we will see you guys on the next episode.